Can I just say something? Anybody that can't understand why I talk about politics so much, and they say I just need to stay on about the Lord. I urge you to go and read Daniel 6 and 7 and 8. Everybody gets to 9 and 10, but read Daniel 6, 7, 8. Read why Daniel was in the den of lions. And it's kind of like with Trump trying to get through, and that's one reason, because the church is being deceived right now. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs because a certain person is being used to do so, facilitate that. And it's kind of like people don't want you focusing on the bad or the end times or saying what's going on or warning. You're a fearmonger. You're not focusing on the Lord. But I want to ask you this, and let's try to keep our emotions out of it. What do you think that we are supposed to be watching? And leaders are very important. They have been throughout the whole Bible. Politics. In fact, Jesus' whole crucifixion was political. After Jesus left, it was political. The new church, they were put in prison over and over. It was politics over and over. Taking a stand, speaking out against things. And if the Lord said in the end, you need to be watchful and warn, what do you think we're supposed to be watching? The signs of the times. What are the signs of the times? Governments, how they react with one another, religions, and people, and nature. That's the things we're to watch. A lot of people don't want to watch those things because it shows that they're almost out of time and they need to get real with their soul. They're out of time. They can't. It's making them face things. A lot of people turn away from it. They don't want to look at it. I am after those people. And the way I am telling you how we're in the time period we're in is using the leaders and politics and nations. In fact, the first thing he lists after he says not to be deceived, when he starts listing off the things you're going to recognize, is wars and rumors of wars. That's nothing but politics. I understand that we rail against that. We've been taught never speak about politics and religion. It makes people mad. Well, we've been comfortable too long, and unfortunately that stuff plays a mighty important role in this stuff. And that is why. It's not because I have a bone to pick. I pray for Trump. You want the truth? I love that man. You may not believe that. I can disagree with you. I can wholeheartedly know that you're on the wrong path, fighting for the wrong team, but I can love you and pray for you. That's what people don't understand. They think if you don't agree with somebody, you just stop praying for them. I don't know where we got that at. In fact, if that's what you think, I'm concerned that's how you operate, because I don't accuse nobody of that, because I don't operate that way. I fully understand if I disagree with somebody, I don't have to not stop praying for them. But when you come at me thinking that because I'm disagreeing with him, I'm not praying for him, it makes me wonder if that's how you operate. So if you disagree with your enemy, you don't pray with them or pray for them? Well, that's where your mind goes. It's kind of like a cheater. If somebody starts cheating on you, usually they'll start accusing you of cheating, even when you have no reason to be accused. Why? Guilty conscience. You start recognizing things you're doing. But anyway, that's why. It's not because I got a bone to pick or I don't like him. None of that. It's important. It may not be comfortable, but my goodness, what is your comfort versus someone's soul? If it would jerk someone into being awake and realizing they're out of time and they need to see what's going on, you mean you'd rather have your comfort over that? And that's biblical, because it says, some having compassion, making a difference. Everybody stops there. Very next verse. Not my words, his words. others, using fear, pulling them straight out of the fire, hating the very garment spotted by the flesh. Some people need fear. Work out your salvation in fear and trembling. Why do we rail against the things he tells us to use? In fact, he says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Go ahead, keep saying all this stuff, but that's where the answers lie. I love y'all. I'm going with God. You may not understand it, and I'm not perfect. I don't know why everybody's expecting me to be. That's actually mind-blowing. Why do we walk around expecting people to be perfect, and then when they're not, you're like, you're not perfect. Yeah, I know I'm not. You thought I was? Okay, maybe we need to have a different conversation here. If you're waiting for a perfect person to come along, tell you a message, or tell you something from the Lord, or encourage you, or anything, you're going to be waiting a long time. In fact, if you check, most of the time he used the people that was the least qualified. Trust me, I know I'm not qualified to do what he has called me to do. But I'm honored, and I'm willing, and I want to steward it well. But anyway, love you, man.